SciManDan is wrong, Plannerwalk tackles our favorite ET tracker, and Unirock and Fight the Flat Earth square off. Those stories and more today as the plot thickens. Today's show is brought to you by channel members and patrons alike. To contribute to this show, hit that join button or head over to www.patreon.com/theplothole1. That's the number one, not the loneliest number you can ever do. Rack focus. Good afternoon, everyone. Johnny O from the Plot Hole. Let's dive right into the news. Channel favorite GreaterSapien has taken a brief break, or maybe he's just added some additional content, to his Eric Bidet Dubé's 200 Proofs He's a Spinning Moron in order to tackle someone equally as moronic, however a bit more dangerous, Matt Powell.
If it's about survival of the fittest and we evolved from African Americans into other Americans.
What? Do you think that modern Americans evolved from African Americans? Did you take the cue from the current understanding that all modern humans evolved from previous human species that had their origins in Africa? Are you taking that and applying it to the population of America? That modern Americans evolved from African Americans? Oh, my non-existent God. The thing is, when I heard this the first time, I thought it can't get worse than that. But, oh boy.
What about the African Americans that are still alive today?
So, in your scenario, African Americans aren't modern Americans. In this worldview, which you made up, African Americans currently living today are basically unevolved Americans? That has to be one of the most racist sentences I've heard in a long time.
I should take this opportunity to remind everyone that Matt Powell has a giant inflatable banana in his backyard, to which he calls Dr. Peel. However, we all already know that, and quite frankly, it's more about what he has in his closet that we're more interested in. Come on, Matt, you can tell us. Jerry Williams expertly deconstructs Matt Powell's ridiculous claims that evolution is racist. I mean, what that even means is lost on me. If there's one thing that we humans really appreciate, it's watching our heroes fail from time to time. Science communicator and pseudoscience debunker SciManDan has proven himself fallible.
Quite a few people state that microchips are being injected into us with the vaccine, which was possibly an idea by Bill Gates. Now, microchips certainly are small enough to fit into the vaccine.
No, they are not, right? Well, it depends on what you mean by fit into the vaccine. If you mean there's a chip small enough to fit into a vial of liquid, then yes, that is absolutely correct. Like if we are talking about a syringe of some description, so if you have like the likes of a syringe here or something like that, then there's quite a bit of area here, and yes, I can fit chips into that, but I don't think that's what's meant by it. We're talking about a chip that's small enough that you could dissolve in liquid and you wouldn't see it, and that's just not the size chips are.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. SciManDan must be distraught with shame. Or not. In all seriousness, this is an important issue. One that SciManDan handles with the humility that one would expect from an honest person. SciManDan has acknowledged his error and promised a retraction. In a related story, SciManDan has surpassed 100 million views. Congratulations, Dan. Here's to 100 million more.
Commercial! Commercial!
Break for 30 seconds.
What do you want, man? Who the fuck is that? Oh, what the fuck? I don't fucking know her, you fucking psycho! Whoa, man, whoa, okay.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you enjoying the show? Of course you are. Then why haven't you clicked that like button? Go on, click it. Have you subscribed? No? Well, what are you waiting for? Be sure to tickle that bell too, that way you get notified every time a new video comes out. While you're here, check out all the membership options, the merch store, PayPal links, all that is in the description box. Can't afford any of that? That's okay. A simple like, share, and subscribe is all the support I need, and it's greatly appreciated. Remember, if you build it, they will come. With Fight the Flat Earth's Craig still recovering from a brain boo-boo, or something like that, Kiwi great Plannerwalk has stepped up to the bar in order to cover FTFE's channel. Looking through the dregs of YouTube, Planarwalk has discovered everyone's favorite dancing ET locator, Gina Marie Coven-Hill.
Although it's perfectly rational to believe that aliens exist in the universe, the subject of today's video believes that aliens exist, and their views on aliens are, how do I put this, absolutely insane.
So it's 2:22 p.m. 2:22 p.m. on June the 9th of 2021, and we are looking at a massive ship that's in the sky, and this picture was taken in Arizona. This is the inverted mode.
So that was Gina Maria Coven-Hill, and I do have to ask, what's with all these conspiracy theorist type people that film their computer monitor with their phones? I mean, screen capture is a thing that exists.
Gina Marie Coven-Hill is what we like to call special. She's relatively harmless, and honestly, she's quite fun to watch. I mean, not because she's communicating anything with any kind of actual truth or value, but it's amazing to watch her mental gymnastics as she tries to explain what she sees in the sky. I'm sure Plannerwalk wore several layers of facepalm protection for this one. Or maybe he didn't, and that's why his face looks like that. Astronomer Rob from Rob's World has an important lesson about our solar system. Take it away, Rob.
Howdy, the Rob here. You may not know this, but astronomers are actually rather crap at naming things. For example, this is the VLA, which stands for the Very Large Array. This is the VLTI, which stands for Very Large Telescope Interferometer. And this is the GBT, which stands for Green Bank Telescope. But don't tell me you weren't thinking it was going to be called the Great Big Telescope. The reason why I'm breaking into Johnny's broadcast is about the naming of an astrophysical object, or rather its pronunciation. There is a particular planet within our solar system which I purposefully pronounce incorrectly, because the correct pronunciation is too damn silly for me to deal with. As an example, here's a following of what my class sounds like if I were to use that particular pronunciation. All right, howdy class. So I'm going to start off with asking a simple question. What is this? This is to give you a hint, this is the first CCD or digital image of an astronomical object.
What do you think that might have been? What was it that astronomers really needed to take a picture of? If you guessed duty hole, you would be correct. And as you can see, there are no Klingons around duty hole. Yep, that's astronomy humor for you. Yeah, this image was taken in 1975 in the red part of the spectrum, essentially at the very edge of the red part of the visible range. And it was taken with the 61-inch telescope on Mount Bigelow. You can see the dark sort of stain in the center of duty hole is believed to be caused by methane absorption. That's right. There's methane in duty hole. Duty hole is the seventh planet of the solar system. Was discovered by William Herschel in 1781. William Herschel had a very accommodating wife named Carolyn who assisted with his observations. She actually allowed him to drill a hole through their house and put a telescope in the middle of their house. And I'm not kidding. And it was that telescope that he first laid eyes on duty hole. Duty hole is important for many different reasons, but one of the more interesting facts about it is that it led to the discovery of Neptune. What was discovered was that duty hole twitched. It moved periodically left and right as it moved through in its orbit. And that twitching allowed us to find, basically use the Newton's law of gravitation to discover the planet Neptune. Now, strictly speaking, duty hole is considered an ice giant, but it is primarily hydrogen and helium gas, although it does have trace amounts of methane and ammonia within it. These methane and ammonia gases also are trapped up in ice form, which hence why it's called an ice giant. In addition to that, you have the atmosphere covering it. At the very core of duty hole is a dark, rocky body of some unknown composition. We believe it's probably silicates or iron and nickel, but until someone drills down into duty hole, we're not going to be able to verify that for absolute certainty. The last thing I'll leave you with about duty hole is its motion. Unlike the rest of the planets, duty hole's motion is a bit peculiar. Well, first, let me start off by saying that it is a fairly distant object, meaning that it is 19 times as far away from the sun as the Earth is from, well, the sun. So it gets rather cold. So duty hole has, on average, a surface temperature of around 140 degrees Celsius, or 140 degrees below the freezing point of water, which is why methane freezes into ice crystals there. It has an orbital period of around 84 years. Now, what's peculiar about it is that duty hole doesn't sit upright like Jupiter does, with what we call an obliquity, or an angle of the rotation angle, the axis of rotation's angle of 3 degrees. Now, Earth tends to recline back a little bit. It has a obliquity of around 23.5 degrees. Duty hole, on the other hand, lies around the solar system with an obliquity of around 98 degrees. Duty hole is literally rolling around the solar system, as you can see in this picture, where you have the pole is designated by that X or the cross. You have the equator, and here the arrows indicate the motions of the planet. Oh, and oh yes, there is a ring around duty hole. All of the major planets have ring systems around them, including a number of orbitals around them, or moons surrounding them. What's peculiar about this motion, what I find to be fascinating about the fact that duty hole is so inclined, is that it only presents one face to the sun at any given time. So yes, for around 42 years, the sun never shines on the backside of duty hole. Before I let you guys go, You might be asking yourself, Dr. Parks, those pictures of Duty Hole were pretty nice, but in comparison to what we've seen with Jupiter and Saturn, they really just don't compare. Well, colleagues of mine at the Astronomical Society of the South have heard those complaints, and we are petitioning the NSF to build a new type of telescope. This telescope will have array elements all over the Earth and will provide unprecedented views of Duty Hole. This telescope is going to be appropriately named Super Huge Interferometric Telescope. As soon as we have funding for SHIT, I will let you all know, and stay tuned for new and impressive images of Duty Hole. So yes, I refer to it as Uranus. And if you don't refer to it as Uranus, then you are an anus. All right. Peace out, everyone. And back to you, Johnny.
Thank you, Rob, for that interesting report. Finally, it has come to my attention that Unirock and Fight the Flat Earth's Craig have beef. I know, surprise, surprise. The two have taken to that cesspool-like battlefield of Twitter. Apparently, Unirock challenged Fight the Flat Earth's Craig to a debate on whether or not Brainy Beaver is racist. Yeah, you heard that right. Agree to Disagree host Conspiracy Cats has agreed to host and moderate the debate between the two. And after some confusion about who did back out or who didn't back out, Conspiracy Cats stepped up and took responsibility and apologized for his role in the miscommunication. However, the ones who need to apologize are Unirock and Craig. Seriously, this whole situation has grown to such stupid proportions that both FTFE and Unirock are running around like clowns, honking each other's noses every chance they get. This back and forth nonsense has got to stop. This has turned into some grade school silliness with all this, "Your friend is a racist. Nuh-uh, you're a cock-a-poo-poo." We need to grow up a little bit. Look, I don't believe for a second that Brainy Beaver is racist. Yes, grab your pitchforks, all you Unirock crew. I said it. The fact that that statement angers you is a giant part of the problem. Everyone needs to stop with the tribalism bullshit. It's really sophomoric and unnecessary. Once again, YouTube is big enough for Craig of Fight the Flat Earth and Unirock to both coexist under the YouTube umbrella. There's plenty of room for all of us. One can be over here, one can be over there. Both can mind their own damn business and none of us would be the wiser. Nobody is forcing any one of you to watch things that you don't like. Both parties are equally as guilty at fueling this dumpster fire. And I get it. Everyone needs a little bit of drama to bring attention to their channels. I completely understand that. I mean, this channel reports on the drama, so I get it. I don't particularly like it. I would rather see people get along. I like doing the funny stuff, like kind of poking fun at SciManDan for being wrong. But to consistently fling poo at one another, it's just unnecessary, and it needs to stop. Hopefully this debate will end the feud between these two. I seriously doubt it, and I only see this as providing another springboard into the next controversy. And before anyone steps in to defend their chosen party, let me stop you right there. No, I have no problem with someone sticking up for their friend. And I have no problem with Unirock covering what he thinks are interesting or important stories. What I do have a problem with is the fighting between the two camps. All this name calling and story making and all these accusations that have no basis in reality on any side needs to stop. Both of you need to stop encouraging your camps to fight with each other. We can all seriously get along on the internet. It's a big enough place for all of us. I'm purposely leaving out my opinion on the original issue other than what I've already stated in order to focus on the overall problem, the bigger problem. Both of you, go to your rooms and think about the damage that you've caused. Uni, go play video games and investigate fundraisers. Craig, go back to your dumpster fire debates with flat earthers and trying to turn yourself into a cyborg. You two don't have to get along. But that doesn't mean you have to pick a fight with each other each and every other week. And that's this week's news. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button and share this video with all your friends. If this is your first time on the channel, please do consider subscribing and tickling that bell for bell notifications. That way you get notified every time I put out a video. As always, I'm Johnny O, and I'll be sure to keep you updated as the plot thickens.